Okay, so to get started, I have 2 eggplants. These are really small, so I'm going to do 2. If you have one large one, that'll work too. So what you're going to do is cut them into 1-inch slices. These have been washed. I'm just going to cut the tops off. And you want them in about a 1-inch thick slice. My knife sucks. So about 1 inch thick, just like that. And I'm just putting them on a sheet pan that's lined with some paper towels. And we're gonna salt them, oh my God, to release the moisture. That's better. So I'm just going to get the second eggplant cut and then we'll be right back. So now that we have our eggplant all sliced, it's on a sheet pan that I lined with some paper towel. I'm just going to take a tiny pinch of some salt. I like using sea salt for everything, but you can use regular salt. Just going to sprinkle a tiny bit on each one just to release the moisture from the eggplants. So we're going to let this sit for about 30 minutes before we move on to the next step. So I just took a paper towel, or this is like a few layers of paper towel, put it on top of the eggplant, and I'm just pressing to soak up all the moisture. And you can see I didn't press these, but you could see what the salt does is it brings the liquid out. It draws the liquid out. So I'm just going over with the paper towel and patting them dry. And now I have 2 eggs that I whisked, and then I'm doubling the breadcrumb mixture because I have some green tomatoes that I'm gonna go ahead and treat the same exact way. So I have Parmesan, breadcrumbs, salt, garlic powder, and pepper. I'll post all the measurements for you guys. But I am doubling it because I'm going to do the green tomatoes as well. So I'm going to start with my green tomatoes first. I did the same thing with my tomatoes. I cut them, I just took that little piece out in the middle, but I cut them about 1 inch thick. And I'm just going to stir my breading all together. I'm going to start by dipping the tomatoes into the 2 eggs. And then I'm going to dip into the dry ingredients. If you notice your breading isn't sticking, you can definitely do a double dip. And these are going to be baked, not fried. So I have my oven set at 375. So it is ready and waiting for me. So we're going to go ahead and start breading. Once this is really incorporated well. Okay. So we're going to take the tomato, dip it in our egg and into our breading just to coat. Alright, so I finished up the green tomatoes. I did have to double dip some of them, so I had to make some more breading. And I did another 2 eggs. But the green tomatoes are ready for the oven. I'm not going to put them in the oven yet because I want to do the eggplant too. So I'm going to move this out of the way and bring in the egg. Okay, so before I get started on the eggplant, I'm just going to dry them off with the paper towel one more time because they did release a little bit more moisture. And I don't want that in here. So I'm just going to pat them dry before I start, and I'm literally going to dip them the same exact way that I was just doing the tomatoes. So it's going straight into the egg and from the egg straight into our breadcrumb mixture. And same thing, I'm going to put it on a parchment lined sheet tray. If you see the breading isn't sticking, or if you just want more breading, feel free to double dip the same way. I'm going to layer this with some tomato sauce and ricotta to make almost like a lasagna or like a eggplant parmesan type thing, but I'm going to layer it with the green tomatoes too. So I'm going to go ahead and get the eggplant ready, and then we'll pop them in the oven. So now the eggplant is ready. The tomatoes are ready. I'm just going to take a drizzle of olive oil just on top. These are going to go in the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes. You're going to want to flip them halfway so they can crisp up on both sides. They may crisp up on both sides without you flipping. I know the last time I didn't have to flip them, but if it looks like the top layer isn't getting golden, just flip them right over. But you do want to make sure that you have foil or parchment paper under these to ensure that the breading doesn't stick. So we'll be back in 20 minutes. So this is what they look like. I am going to have to flip them. So I'm going to flip them and let them get golden on the other side. And then you could just serve this with some store-bought pasta sauce or marinara and eat it like that. I'm going to layer it with ricotta and some sauce and the tomatoes. And it's going to be a meatless dinner, but really delicious. These are the green tomatoes. I just flipped them over, and now I'm going to let the other side crisp as well. All right, so the eggplant is done. The tomatoes are done. I'm going to put it together with some Parmesan, ricotta, and I heated up just a jarred marinara sauce. Okay, to put it together, I'm going to start with a spoon, or this isn't the plate I'm going to plate in. I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to take a spoon full of the sauce and put it right in the middle here. And then I'm going to take one of our eggplants, put it right in the center. Try and keep it clean so I can get a good picture. Next, I'm going to put some of the ricotta up on top carefully, like so. And then another spoon of marinara right on top of that. Put a little bit more. Who doesn't love marinara? Okay, and now from here we're going to top it with one of our beautiful green tomatoes. And I'm gonna do another layer of sauce right up on top. Some more ricotta up on top of that. Spoonful of sauce. Let it drip down a little. Sprinkle of Parmesan. And I'm gonna sprinkle some parsley up on top, but that's it, guys. What do you think? Meatless dinner. Here she is, guys. Look how beautiful this lady turned out. I'm gonna go ahead and eat my dinner. If you guys have any questions, send me a message on my personal page. Don't forget to follow me for some more